How you all doing? Today we're going to talk about paddock stands, in particular paddock stand suitable for the Triumph Bobber. And this video is more aimed at new riders or those unfamiliar with paddock stands, not so much well-seasoned riders and experienced bikers. I've mentioned before that I'm a new rider. This is my first bike, and until recently I had never used a paddock stand, never even seen one actually, because I didn't really know much about motorbikes. But now I have one for the Triumph Bobber that I've got here, and we're going to have a look at it. The inspiration for me making this video was I read a post on Facebook, on one of the Triumph Bobber Facebook pages, that somebody had used a new paddock stand that they had got for their bike, and when taking the bike off the stand they dropped the bike. Now I can see how that'll happen, having only used mine a few times now. It's a bit nerve-wracking the first time you go trying to lift or put your bike back down. So I thought we'd have a look at the stand, see how it fits onto the bike, see how the bike's lifted and lowered again, so that those that maybe haven't done it before or are looking to buy a stand can weigh up the options. So first and foremost, what is a paddock stand and why do you need one? Well, as you can see here, a paddock stand is basically a metal framed stand, usually with wheels on it, that can be used to lift the rear wheel of the bike off the ground. And you get them also for lifting the front wheel. Now when they're lifted, or when the wheel is lifted, the weight of the bike then rests on the stand and the bike becomes much more stable. You'll see when I lift the bike that it is very stable as opposed to it resting on the side stand. Now presumably it's referred to as a paddock stand because their main use, I believe, was for, or is for, race bikes. Race bikes are not fitted with a side stand or any stand of any sort, so when they come into the paddock they're then put on to a stand to keep the bike upright, and therefore it's a paddock stand. This stand that I have here is from Oxford. When I had a look at various stands online and through the forums, Oxford seemed to be the best for the bobber, at least. For sure the specs and the pictures of them make them look the strongest. There is a lot of stands available on eBay and Amazon etc that look pretty flimsy, so I went for this one, and it comes with these arms here that are suitable for fitting onto bobbins, which I'll go into in a minute, and also it comes with these arms also that would be for a different lifting arrangement. But for the lifting the bobber, we're going to use these, and we're going to use them on bobbins fitted to the bike. So what is a bobbin? Well, in sewing terms you'd probably be thinking something to do with thread, but when we're talking about motorbike, it's this principal design that's came from the sewing thing. But we're looking at a metal bobbin. In this case it's anodized aluminium I've gone for. But this bobbin I got on Amazon for, I think it was about £9 maybe. Now for the 2022 Triumph Bobber, the bobbin is fitted with an 8mm bolt. So these come with the bolt, ready to be fitted. We'll stick them on the bike and then they can be used to lift the bike with the paddock stand. So you need a bobbin fitted either side of the bike for the feet on the paddock stand to fit onto, and the bobbins are fitted onto the bottom of the swing arm here. So on the right hand side I've got this little plastic cap, which if I pull that out you're then left with an internal thread which the bobbin piece can then be threaded into. Now like I say, there's one fitted on either side for obvious reasons, so you got one fitted on the right side there, and as I've got a side mount number plate, the other one is fitted just in the back here under the number plate, and it's actually fitted through the bottom of this number plate mount. It means it sticks out a little bit further from where it normally would, but you can adjust the feet on the stand, so that's no problem. Now the first thing you've got to do is set the stand up with the feet at the right distance apart. So you want to slide the stand in and under the bike. Now you can't see the left hand side here where I've got the foot lined up and onto the bobbin that's behind the number plate, but the other foot you want to line both feet up so that when the bike is standing up straight, that these feet are going to catch the bobbin, and then you tighten off so that the feet can't slide in and out of the stand anymore. Now with the feet on the stand lined up with the bobbins, you're ready to lift the bike. Now I have read that some people like putting a block of wood under the side stand to straighten the bike up. Each to their own. I'm just going to go with lifting the bike up straight and then lifting it on the stand. So what you want to do is straighten up the bike to the point where you haven't gone past the point of no return. You're not going to drop it onto the right hand side, so you want to keep the weight just still onto the left where the side stand is. And I like to put my foot at the back of the stand here just to stop it rolling back as I go to lift. So I'm going to lift the bike up slightly to get it straight. Make sure that your bobbins are encapsulated by the feet of the stand, and then put your weight onto the stand, and we're going to lift the bike up. And as you come over the sort of pivot point here, the weight is no longer the front side of the bike, the weight is now over the stand. So as the stand comes down, the weight's fully over the side of the stand there, and you can see as I'm trying to rock this back and forth, the bike is extremely stable. As you can see, the bike's fully on the stand, and you know, no matter how much I try and rock this back and forth, the bike's really stable, much more stable than it would be sitting on the side stand alone. If you know, if it's in your garage or somewhere that might get knocked to fall over. At the moment, the way it's sitting, it's definitely not going to fall over. And of course, one of the major advantages of having the bike on the stand is that with the rear wheel off the ground, the rear wheel is completely free to turn, so you can fully rotate the chain, clean the chain, makes it much easier to do this task when it's on the stand. Now, taking it off the stand and putting it back on the deck is the opposite process. First things first, make sure that your side stand that you're going to be resting the bike onto is fully down, so that when you bring the bike down and the weight comes over, it is going to sit on its own stand. Now, you want to basically lift the handle of the stand. You'll feel the weight come over the pivot point of the stand as the wheel comes back down on the deck. I like to grab the bobber by the seat here, and I've got my leg on the inside of it. I'm just going to slowly let the weight come over to the left and onto the side stand, and then you can pull your stand away.